Hello and happy Thanksgiving, everyone. This is my third and last video for our discussion about parents and grandparents sponsorship. Last night I had two videos. First is the basic information about expression of interest and the eligibility requirements of being a sponsor and a co-sponsor. The second was the calculation for the family size to meet the minimum income requirement. And this third video, we will be discussing who can be sponsored as parent, grandparent, and who are considered dependent children. I made 3 videos, so it will not be all information in one video, not too overwhelming and not too long for me. Since I don't know how to edit or merge videos, and these are all take one, no cuts, a very homemade video. I just want to share information and hopefully this can help you for this 3-week window in the submission of the expression of interest or EOI for the parents and grandparents sponsorship for 2020. Who you can sponsor as a parents and grandparents. You can sponsor your own parent and grandparent related by blood or adoption. Your in-laws, your wife or common law partner will sponsor them, okay? So you cannot sponsor your in-laws, but you can co-sponsor their sponsorship. In case of divorce or separation, for example, your parents are divorced, so you can sponsor your father and his spouse or common law partner if there is, and at the same time you can sponsor separately your mother and his husband if there is, as long as you meet the minimum income requirement of the total family size of the sponsored family members, and of course the other eligibility requirements of being a sponsor. So as I've said, the requirements of being a sponsor I discussed in my first video, and the minimum income requirement for the calculation of the family size in my second video. So in the application of the permanent residency of your parents, grandparents, you can only include your brothers and sisters or half brothers and sisters if they qualify as dependent children, which I will discuss later who are those dependent children. So the people you sponsor must be eligible. To show the eligibility requirements, your parents and grandparents and their dependents must provide all required forms and documents in their application and additional information that immigration will request during processing, which includes, first is the medical exam, police clearances, and biometrics. In the parents and grandparents sponsorship, if they are inadmissible, they cannot be sponsored. So what are those inadmissibility? There are reasons to be inadmissible. So first are for security reasons, including espionage, subversion or attempts to overthrow a government, violence or terrorism, and membership in an organization involved in any of this violence or terrorism. Second, those involved in human or international rights violation. Third, committing a crime including driving while under the influence of drugs or alcohol. Fourth, involved in organized crime including people smuggling or money laundering. Fifth, medical reason. This includes medical conditions that endanger Canadian or the public health. Third, endanger public safety. And lastly, it causes excessive demand on health or social services. So medical reasons, it's a separate discussion. There are a lot of medical inadmissibility. And there is also calculation on how to be considered excessive in demand on health or social services. Sixth is the financial reason. So if you, for example, later on you decide you're no longer eligible or met the minimum income requirement for the family size. Seventh is the misrepresentation. So if they had applied before to immigration and had been giving false information, wrong, withholding information, they could be banned for 5 years. And eight, the failure to comply with any provisions of the if their previous stay in Canada. And lastly, having an inadmissible family member. So if you're sponsoring your father and mother and they have their dependent child, or your brother and sister, and your brother has some criminal convictions, so damay na. So that means your father and mother could also be inadmissible. So their application is also refused for having a dependent child who is inadmissible to Canada. So now we are discussing who are those dependent child. A child who is less than 22 years of age and not married, not in a common law or conjugal partner relationship, is considered dependent child. As long there is a lock-in, we call this lock-in, from the date of the submission of the application, which is considered complete, until there is a decision of the application. So if your application will be submitted in January, but it was returned in March because of incomplete, the age is not locked in. That is only locked in if you had submitted and your application and confirmed complete. But if, for example, your brother is still dependent, but while it's on process, he got married, he is no longer a dependent child. So again, the expression of interest submission will be in Tuesday, October 13th up to November 3rd, 2020, the noon of Eastern Daylight Time or EDT. And after those weeks, IRCC will sort duplicates, and if you are drawn, you are given, or if you are lucky, or if you're one of those lucky 10,000 sponsors, you are given 60 to 90 days to submit the required documents and the forms. And the average processing time right now is 20 to 24 months average processing time for parents and grandparents. So you have to make sure that you as a sponsor and your co-sponsor are still eligible, and of course your sponsored parents and grandparents and their dependents. So what if you are unlucky? So you did not receive the invitation to apply for 2020. You can apply for a temporary resident visa for your parents and grandparents, or you can also apply for a super visa so they can visit you in Canada. And then once they're inside Canada and they want to extend their stay, apply for an extension. So they have to maintain a valid status in Canada and wait for the next draw, and then hope and pray that you will be drawn the next time. So again, thank you so much, and hoping I was a help to you all. And reach out to us if you have some questions and concerns. Again, thank you so much and happy Thanksgiving. Bye.